Good morning, everybody. This is Martin Wong in here, and I'd like to welcome you to the Breakfast Show Money Talk with SmartRobie. Now, over the weekend, we have seen a huge spike in the coronavirus cases, almost 40,000 a day, and that has caused the US market to drop. And this morning, that has also affected our market. And as I said before, breaking below the 1500 level, that's a real concern in here. And as long as the market continued to go lower, that's not a good sign. But if you have used SmartRobie, the SmartRobie apps that you see on your left-hand side, you can download it from a Google Play Store or iOS. That will keep you updated and inform you even as early as 14th of June. We shall see in the later slides. Shall we get started? Now, the story for today, which actually look at why the market for what it is no other than the merging trends that we see. The number of M&A, not M&M, M&A, which is reducing in Malaysia. As we see, going back to 2009, the number of cases that is giving the corporate deals are getting less. And it's not only been experienced in Malaysia, because they find it, look, all this buying and selling on the stock exchange may not be definitely a good idea. Now, of course, in the COVID-19, post-COVID-19, prices have been distressed because buyer definitely want to buy lower, right? And the seller want to sell higher, so they couldn't meet it. And this has also caused, but I believe the governments, through their FDI initiative, they should try to bring more jobs into the market and perhaps, really keeping the stock exchange higher. Now, our next story that we have is definitely the U recovery, V recovery, or L recovery. Type it into your reply on the right hand side if you do see it. I want to know what you think. Now, this story talks about previously, even myself, the likelihood is going to be a U recovery, because if you look back to 2008 and 2009, which I'll share in the earlier video, those of you can go over to YouTube and watch it. It is usually a U-shaped recovery. Okay, very seldom you get a V shape, and right now this sudden surge of second wave of the bigger one, and that's a cause of concern in here. Now, a U-shaped recovery, which is to my benefit, it's better actually, and it's more successful. Anything that's V-shaped, be careful, because this is where the hot money, which we talked about last week, or where the current market, the KLSE market, are really supported by retailer, and retailer don't have the holding power, like the institution, so they will chabut. When you chabut, you see the market. But also, this report by the Schroeder analyst talks about the revised FY20 lower growth, which we forecast. We all know that, but very important, if you look from the slide here, just a little small mark here, the focus is on FY 2021, which we expect to go, because right now what we've seen are history, and stock market, like it or not, which we will always talk about, it's always forward looking somewhere between 9 months to 12 months. All right, and not forgetting Brazil, Russia, and India are still in extended lockdown because of the increasing number of cases. Now let's go on to the next story. Next story is going to be interesting, because this will tell you whether the US market will go lower. Now, the US FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, are deciding to release this news, because in May, they found out job numbers are supposed to go down. It actually created 2.5 million, all right? So now, for the June, they expect 3 million. So that tells you the reopening of the economy no doubt has caused the second wave of coronavirus, but it has created jobs, and that's why the market is not going lower but going higher. So the news will be out on 1st of July, so which means we'll take the full impact on 2nd of July. Let's see what the job numbers say. If you do see the next few days market going down, which should be a concern, but the job numbers, if it comes out well, maybe around 2 million, then it will hold it level. We may see a little bit more of correction before the market resumes. Now, let's go on the next story, which we all talk about. Now, remember, we picked the premium alert last week on Cap Cakaran, right, which is a poultry breeder. And this news simply talks about the modernization of the open house farming to what we see the closed farming. You used to see chicken running around, and when you have H1N1, the bird flu, habis. So what they do, they close it up, so there will be less infection and it will be cheaper. Because this kind of breeding will cause a lot of concern going forward. So they're trying to modernize in here. And the news just talk about the continuation of modernizing the farm, and they're spending about 100 million in here. All right. Also, let's look at the chart, shall we? Now, if you look at Cap Jabaran and where we are, all right, the stock prices in here. So, okay, the chart looks pretty well. As you can see from the chart, as I showed you here, right, it has a upthrust. Now, really, if you look at in terms of the SOS and SOW, there's a tutorial we have on the YouTube, so make sure you watch it. It talks about all this UT and line change, so you'll be know about it. Or if you're on SmartRobie, go over the FAQ and type. You'll see the tutorial. So we expect the market to go higher, not lower, because of the news that we've seen in there. Right now, let's look at what we see so far. We can hit the trading view, right? That will take us to a real-time chart, and we just move up. And also, those of you who are interested to get the real-time chart on the hourly chart, daily chart, you can go over the trading view. We do have a package in here. All right. Now this is an hourly chart by standard. So you switch it to a daily chart. Oh, I think I hit. Here's the daily chart, and it looks pretty good. There is a continued move up in here. It did hit 39 cents this morning up, but go look. This news certainly looks good. But take note of the Pentagon when it first came in, way back, somewhere around here. Okay, you can see my mouse here, and that's certainly looking very good. All right, line change and the market goes up. All right, let's look at the next story that we have for you. All right. Let me just close this up, right? And no other the stock in focus, UWC. Now UWC is a CNC equipment miller, pretty much like Notion VTech, where they do all this. But what has really got into stock journalist Miss Yap, which I do read, and very good, the things that she writes, it can make you money too. So the stock in focus is about life science. What is life science? Life science is all building all this equipment that makes into healthcare. Now this story talks about how they have done very well despite the MCO. Their revenue has grown 45% and profit 65.9% for the April 30th. And that's very good. And going forward, where we have the post-COVID-19 world, a lot of things is going to be hinging on this. And UWC has only 830, very small cap, and they're expanding it, and they did see a 6% growth into it. And there's a talk about, this article talk about the 5G and the AI, which they do see a very future growth. Okay, let's look at the stock. Okay, UWC. Okay, right, let's look at the stock and look at the stock chart in here. Now the stock chart looks very light. This is why I really like it. And this is something we usually teach. Those of you who came to our last Saturday course will see this is definitely an opportunity. A little bit of COC. Guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? And hasn't turned green Pentagon yet. Now the whole point why we do our money talk show is to let you get in before the big market move, isn't it? Correct, right? Now this stock actually moved up quite nicely from 125 right now to 375, almost 100% mark. Can it go higher? Definitely going to be hinged on the growth of the market in here. Of course, it's not going to be cheap. Let's look at the stock fundamental. Again, bring up in here. It's rated as a 1. Now, you may ask, Martin, this is a good stock. Why is it rated 1? Please look at the PE. The PE is about 40 times, so it's not cheap. ROE is 24. It is showing what it is. And growth stock, you have to pay, isn't it? Anything that is good, that is growing, you have to pay up. So usually use the chart, just like we talked about previously, Penta, it has moved up too. So do take note of this kind of small discrepancy between the FA ratings and the stocks. You need to pay, that's part. Now let's look at the next story that we have in line in here is no other than PowerNet. Now PowerNet, very interesting, is because it is the same owner as Server Dynamic. Now Server Dynamic is one of the hot stock during the oil and gas couple 2 years ago, right? Made very lot of money. Those people have it. It was a mid cap, then promoted to large cap stocks, right? But right now we can see PowerNet, the same owner, right, are using the same vehicle, but they are using for private placement. Now those of you who are listening for the first time, do type 1 in here. At least I know our material, we want to explain the definition here. Private placement basically is what the bankers try to sell you shares of certain company in a bigger amount for less than what you pay at the market price. Maybe you get a bit of discount, 5%, 10%. So that entices people, and usually they use this for capital working capital. Means they want to expand, they want to pay salary, they want to buy new equipment. In this case, it's for office building and hydropower plants in Laos and Perak. So this definitely a nice one. Now, one reason why I bring up this PowerNet is let's look at PowerNet for what it is. Okay, PowerNet. Okay, now PowerNet, the chart looks pretty good. All right, PowerNet chart looks pretty good, and you can see, right, it is a pullback, and definitely take notice of the green pentagon. That's why we say it's always good to look at the green pentagon, then check out the fundamentals using SmartRobie, and you piece everything together, look at the dividend. That's how you buy, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be a fool and just blind buy buta. Right now, we have a pullback in here. Nice one. If you don't know what's pullback, find out more from our courses and in here. And also look at the trading plan. Let's look at the trading plan right now. Okay, 218. Okay, 218. Either you want to buy on the breakout, 250, you hold it 2 weeks to 2 months, right? And let's look at K-Power right now, stock prices. It is 226. Hey, that's the pullback price, and that's why I bring it in there. Do you like it or not? Check out the stock fundamental. All right, stock fundamental is again 1 hour 8, but Server Dynamic, do check it out. It's 6 hour 8 because earlier I found it out and check out Server Dynamic on the SmartRobie. So it pays dividend to have a free apps downloaded to your handphone, and you will know. All right, let's move on to our next story that we have, which is our Premium Alert. Now, Premium Alert, last week we did look at the last Friday, Pansar and Eco World International. Okay, I think Pansar again. Is it going to be like Cap Jabaran, where stock move up first and then news comes up? Usually that's the case, isn't it? And most of you guys been following me would know that. Stock move first, story come later, good news or bad news, and then the smart money we dispose. This is the signature of smart money campaign, and that's why we want to bring this and unveil the secrets behind the market in the stock market through Money Talk with SmartRobie. And right now, let's look at the KLSE right now. Now, earlier on, the market actually dropped more, and now it's down minus 7 points, that's all, right? Again, we're heading lower. All this will depend on what we just talked about. Yeah, that's right. The US FOMC report, which is going to be released on 2nd of July. That report will sort of drive the market higher or lower, all right, or more correction to come. All right, so do take note, our bullish rating has gone down to 62%, and it pops back up to 75. That will be positive, all right, 70%. So watch for this positive amount in here. Now let's look at the Pansar. All right, and the stock price. Okay, it's up 0.5% in here. Switch on to Trading View, the real-time charts. Just move up here, and okay, not too bad. Just up 0.5% despite the market is down. Okay. Oh, there you go. It's coming up, and this is the usual hourly daily chart. Right. Just bring it up in here. Just switching back to Pansar. Now, I find it very difficult to change the limit here, but never mind. We will look at this another time. Right, but definitely you can switch on to your trading view and look at it, but definitely 2.5%. But let's look at the daily chart first, okay? Now the daily chart, I like about it, you see, it is a nice, you look at it, this is really what we call the staircase of wealth. Signature of smart money. Tum 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 kaboom. That's why we have a yellow pullback, and this is probably an opportunity for you to buy. Of course, check it out, look at the news, look at these things, and do your investigation first and so on. So the next one is EW International, okay? Eco World International, which we pick up. I think the earnings came out. There was some good news about the houses being sold in London. They have a lot of overseas property, right? And I think they've done pretty well. After the lockdown been lifted in London, you can see market in here, push back up. You have a good support. And the reason why we got this was the confirm no demand. Confirm no demand, typically you'll see movement go up, but it's a bit slow, right? Those of you who have attended our course will probably know how this thing works out. So for today on the Premium Alert, let's go back to the main market and go on to Premium Alert. Early on, we picked BoilerM. Okay, now you have another one. Remember, we have new stocks every 30 minutes. Use the premium alert. Right now, 0168 BoilerM is something I like. I've never seen about Ajinomoto. Now that is a very classic. Now let's look at the BoilerM here. Stock chart. Yeah, look at that. It just turned green pentagon. Let me just pitch it up for you. Okay, green pentagon. And the chart looks pretty good just now. Earlier we see. So BoilerM will like it. And we're going to come back and look at it too tomorrow. Right. Okay, so while the chart is going, we're going to go on to the next story here. And you can see right now on the right hand side of the chart actually breaks out a nice market move. And we're going to go to the, so we just picked one today, just BoilerM. And tomorrow we're going to come back for more. All right. Of course, if you want more on the premium alert, do go over premium alert. We got MRCB, we got KSSC, which is an industrial product. This is nice. I always like this one, 5192. Let's take a look at this. Okay. 5192. And let's look at the stock price, okay, which is 5% here. Click on that one. That will take us to, so let me just take a note of this. And BoilerM, okay. Okay, let's look at the stock chart here. KSSC. Good one too. Okay, just move it over here. Daily chart looks pretty good. You see, it's like a low volume comes in here. So we're going to pick KSC and we're going to come back tomorrow. All right, for that one. So let's look at the what we have for the remaining of our morning talk show. Definitely no other than our next workshop, which is the Pansar version. Some of you felt that, hey, we have a lot of Malay speaking friends and our coaches Arif is very good in our Pansar, and also myself, we are trying to improve that. And definitely those of you who want to attend, registration is open for the this Saturday class, 4th of July. That's Independent Day, all right? Remember the movie? And we're going to teach you how to buy during market correction. And if the market goes higher, that's going to be good. All right, and don't forget the Wednesday show, which is 9:30, a very popular show. And this time we will be talking about rubber glove. Which one would I buy? We're going to have a bit of competition too, right? Which do you like? Kosan, Hatalega, Top Glove, or Supermax? Okay, don't forget, enjoy me on Wednesday. And of course, those of you who are listening for the first time, be part of our 4,000 Telegram follower and don't miss out on our daily update, right? Like this. So you will get informed and profit from our morning talk show. Now that's all I have for today. I'll see you tomorrow for the breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. I'm your host, Martin, signing off. Bye-bye.